All right, Axetober, axe number 2 right here is a Flint edge, True Temper Flint edge, USA stamped, LC1 stamped on the backside, and we're gonna hang it on one of our straight 16-inch riggers handles. This handle is something that I like this size head on, as like a camp axe, a universal camp axe. You can swing it backwards for pounding in tent stakes, or you can swing it forward and chop. This thing fits almost perfect, which is why I like this size head in this handle. This is made for broad axe handles or broad hatchets. It's made for, you know, scout hatchets, things like that. But it works wonderful for this. So we're gonna start by just pulling a little bit off the sides on the back. I'm gonna mark it. I'm looking down and seeing what I can see light with. I'm making a line like that, and then I switch it around, and here, and here. Maybe a touch off the back there, and there. It's worth mentioning that these handles are all hand sanded, right? So there is some, these aren't precision. I mean, they're very, very close, but you know, you could have a 32nd of an inch missing on one side or whatever. So it's always good to test fit, not just assume that both sides are the same. I'm gonna go like this. So between those two lines is where I want to take off. Interestingly enough, you can see the mark. In the last video I talked about that, where it's nice to not clean the head too much because you get this rust stain on the top. And that shows where the contact is for the head. Roll it. Oh, I'm going to take some off the back. That's right. Just a little bit off the back here. Gotta roll it. Okay. So close. I'm gonna mark where it's rubbing again. We're a little bit closer to the front of the eye on both sides. Just a little bit in the back. There we go. With hanging an axe, a lot of guys get frustrated. They're like, man, I gotta take this thing off and take it back on, put it back on, back and forth. And that's just the process. And everybody messes up. I'm sure in this series you'll see us just have like a complete botched hang, because that's just how it goes. And I know it really triggers a lot of you guys, but I'm all about sharing the mess ups too. All right. We're gonna tap it on, or we're gonna wail on it a couple times, see how it seats, and then with plans of taking it off, right? We're not being like, oh, this is the final hang, because I see a lot of this. Sometimes guys will even send us pictures and be like, what do you think of my hang? And this is what it looks like. It's like, come on, you can do better than that. Pull it off one more time. Clean that curl up. But you can see the handle sticking out the top, so we are getting close. And this is a very closed hang, meaning the bit is pointed down versus bit pointed up, which would be an open hang. I like closed hangs. I like dramatic closed hangs. This is a personal preference. I just feel like, especially on stuff that's got a little bit worn of a toe, which is this, you're contacting right where you want to when you swing it. So. Whoa! Don't catch it with your foot. We didn't chip that. That's good. So now here you can see that you've got these marks, which is just a key or a guide to show you where you need to take material from. I'm going to leave this one high. I'm not going to set it down all the way on the shoulder for one reason, and that is this head feels comfortable that way, and also I want to have it so that the next person can, if this does become loose, they can pull the head off and then set it down. I hate setting them down on the shoulder right away on the first hang, because then if it does loosen up, you know, in 5-10 years or whatever, then you can save it. So. It's a good looking hang. We'll get in there and trim that off. On the heritage handles where it's a little bit longer of a tongue, I won't hang those ones super high on the shoulder just because I don't like the look of those. But on this, that's a good looking axe. It's a good looking shape. So I'm going to pull it off, sand this down a little bit, just get the rasp marks away, and then we'll wedge it up. The junk drawer. Let's use this. I really like these sanding sponges. They work perfect for what we're doing here, where you kind of need it to contour a little bit. That little shelf there. I'm going to take the shelf off both sides. This is just, you can see how it's little, but we don't want that to be the reason why this handle breaks prematurely. All handles break when abused, or I guess eventually when they dry out, but you don't want to be the reason why they would prematurely break. More times than not, when we get an email of like, hey, my axe handle that I bought off of you and you know, put a head on, it broke in the second swing. Like 9 times out of 10 it's right in that area, and it's like, that's a user error. You gotta make sure you don't do that. Nice. There we go. I think we're ready to wedge. So I've got a walnut wedge here, and I gotta just take a little bit off of it. All right, so I'm just taking a little bit off of this, and I like to taper it a little bit like this so that it drives in. Yeah, that's gonna be great. So I want it to be exactly in the back, and then it'll work its way in the front. There we go. Okay. So there we go. I'm gonna put it down on the concrete here and we're gonna drive it in. Oh yeah, look at that. Frick yeah. That looks great. I've seen a couple guys do this where they like leave the wedge. We might try to do that. We'll just chamfer it. I don't know, it's a little tall. It's a little on the tall side. All right, we're gonna cut this wedge off. I decided I'm not gonna keep it long. Look at that. Do a little trimmy. A little off the back. And some knot 3-in-1. True Temper Flint Edge USA on a 16-inch handle, walnut wedge. And this is axe number 2, complete. And we're adding it to the pile. Yesterday, we did this one with the crazy weights on the back on a 28-inch Faller's axe handle. We haven't swung it yet, but it's about to happen. I'm going to swing that here very shortly. And a lot of people have been like, well, it's probably for the Fallers. Like, there's timber Fallers. They want to have a bigger weight on the back. But I think it's more someone wanted to split wood and wanted a little extra weight to flick off the back. So that's that. All of these axes will be available on bid.whiskeyrivertrading.com, our auction site. And we're adding a new one every day, and at the end of the month, we will be doing an auction. The date's on the website. Check it out. Sign up. Grab the app. Apple and Android apps are available on bid.whiskeyrivertrading.com. It's way easier to use with the app instead of a browser. So check it out. Be good. Stay sharp, and see you tomorrow.